What if I told you that an entire region, 4 times the size of Uganda, was lost in a matter of months? That thousands of lives, already torn apart by years of war, would be further devastated by a single series of decisions. Decisions made by a leader who swore to protect them. But instead, betrayal, broken agreements, and political missteps would hand control to the very forces threatening the nation. This is the story of how one man's refusal to negotiate, his decision to ignore peace, sparked a chain reaction that would not only destabilize an entire country, but also embolden a ruthless rebel force. It all started in Goma. The M23, a rebel group that seemed to have vanished. But in late 2022, they re-emerged stronger, more determined, and with a single target in mind: Goma. Once defeated, the M23 group faded from the headlines, but their hunger for power never dissipated. Armed with support, and perhaps even covert backing, they advanced toward Goma, a city known for its beauty, but now a prize in a deadly game. But there was something strange about the fall of Goma. It didn't go down like most battles. It was too easy. The city fell without much of a fight. Why? Why did the Congolese forces retreat? The man who should have been leading the defense of Goma? President Félix Tshisekedi, a leader who once promised to fight for the heart of the DRC. Yet, within months of taking office, his government made an astounding decision: to refuse direct talks with M23. In the face of violence, peace talks were his chance to defuse the situation. Instead, Tshisekedi made an even bolder move. He broke the peace agreement with M23. What would make a leader turn away from peace and choose a path of war instead? What was his reasoning? And it didn't stop there. Tshisekedi made another critical misstep. He expelled the very peacekeepers his government had invited just months earlier. The East African Community Force, a group meant to protect civilians and bring stability, was sent packing. It wasn't just a political decision. It was a signal that peace was no longer the priority. In a heartbeat, the region was thrown into further turmoil. Now, with the peacekeepers gone, M23 knew they had the advantage. And the city of Goma? It became the prize in a deadly game. But what Tshisekedi didn't know? That the consequences of his choices would be far greater than anyone could have predicted. The loss of Goma was just the beginning. As Tshisekedi's forces crumbled, the M23 began their advance, capturing towns and villages with shocking ease. And in a matter of months, Tshisekedi lost 4 times the territory of Uganda. His failure to act, his refusal to negotiate, had opened the door for chaos. But who were the real victims? The people. Over 6 million displaced, families torn apart, children without homes. The humanitarian disaster wasn't just the result of fighting. It was the product of one man's failure to protect his own people. When leaders fail, it's not just their nations that suffer. It's the innocent lives caught in the crossfire. And the real question is, could any of this have been prevented? As Tshisekedi watches his country fall apart, does he regret his decisions? Does he understand the cost of his arrogance? The political chess game was far more than just strategy. It was about real people, real lives. And while Tshisekedi might have thought he was playing a game of power, he was losing his country. So, what happens next for the DRC? Is there hope for recovery? Can the region heal? Only time will tell. But for the people of Goma and the DRC, one thing is certain: the fight for peace has only just begun. For the people of Goma, the battle isn't just for land. It's for their future, their survival. And the world is watching. Will this tragedy be the catalyst for change?